In our headlines on this Wednesday, August 5th, here in South Korea. The heat wave here refuses to loosen its grip on the country, and city officials are stepping up emergency efforts to shield their residents from the dangerous temperatures. Meanwhile, the Lee Jae-myung administration lays out its diplomatic priorities with a renewed emphasis on nuclear-powered submarines, wartime operational control, and peace on the Korean peninsula. US President Donald Trump says a breakthrough in talks to reopen the Strait of Hormuz may be imminent as both the US and Iran address the issue with regional mediators. Here in South Korea, it's no longer just another sweltering summer. It's a heat wave that's refusing to relent, and across the country, temperatures, official and unofficial, are rewriting record books. Our Park Junan starts us off.
As of 11 a.m. Wednesday, the Korea Meteorological Administration had expanded its highest-level heatwave warning, serious heatwave warning, to cover 43% of the greater Seoul area. The highest level of alert was also issued for the city of Cheongyang in Chungcheongnam-do province. This is the very first time for the Chungcheong region. A severe heatwave warning is issued when an area's daily maximum feels-like temperature has reached 35 degrees Celsius or higher for at least 2 consecutive days. After that, the warning is issued if either the daily maximum feels-like temperature reaches 38 degrees Celsius or higher, or the daily maximum temperature reaches 39 degrees Celsius or higher. On Tuesday, unofficial temperature readings in Seoul districts including Gangnam-gu and Guro-gu even topped 39 degrees Celsius. According to the Korea Meteorological Administration's report, this past July recorded the highest average minimum temperature on record at 23.4 degrees Celsius. The nation also experienced an average of 9.7 tropical nights, during which temperatures do not fall below 25 degrees Celsius. That easily surpassed the previous record set in 2024. The prolonged heat is taking a growing toll on public health. The Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency says 2 more people died from heat-related causes on Tuesday, bringing this year's death toll to 19. The number of heat-related illnesses has now surpassed 2,200 nationwide, with 186 new cases reported in a single day. The scorching weather has also disrupted professional sports. To protect the players and spectators, the Korea Baseball Organization announced that for the very first time, it will cancel all first and second team games on Wednesday and Thursday until comprehensive measures are put in place. With dangerously intense heat wave expected to continue, health officials are strongly urging people to stay hydrated, avoid prolonged outdoor activities, and seek immediate medical attention if signs of heat exhaustion appear. Park Junan, Arirang News.
And with little relief from the blistering heat, capital Seoul is stepping up its efforts to better protect its residents from the dangerous temperatures. Our Shin So-in files this report from the ground.
With feel-like temperatures reaching 38 degrees Celsius across much of Seoul, the highest level heat alert has been in place since Tuesday, while the heat island effect traps heat between buildings and asphalt. In response, the local governments converted around 4,000 community centers and senior citizen centers into cooling shelters, providing residents with free air-conditioned spaces.
The temperature outside of this community center is 36 degrees Celsius. But inside the cooling shelters, the temperature can come down to 27 degrees Celsius. For residents vulnerable to extreme heat, these shelters can provide them a chance to cool off before heat exhaustion becomes a medical emergency.
Listed on the Seoul Metropolitan Government's website and open for unlimited visits, cooling shelters also serve as a shared ground that infuses community spirit.
This center has served local seniors for more than 40 years, but anyone, not just members, can come in and take a break from the heat.
The National Disaster Management Research Institute says heat-related illnesses at home more than double during extreme heat, especially among elderly and low-income residents who lack regular health checkups.
If heat-related symptoms appear, you may not be able to respond on your own. So when outdoor activity is unavoidable, make sure you are with someone rather than alone.
Non-profit organizations such as the Buddhist-affiliated Wongaksa also provide relief from the heat, serving free meals that help residents regain their strength.
Preparing these meals is deeply rewarding for us. We serve simple, traditional home-style food, just like the meals people used to eat at home.
Founded in 1993, the center operates a year-round without a single day off, providing a daily meal to about 250 to 300 people.
I come here 3 or 4 times a week. Eating out is too expensive, so this free meal helps me save around 12 to 13,000 won each time.
For workers who usually consume caffeine, its diuretic effect can accelerate dehydration by causing the body to lose more fluid. To help offset that risk, free bottled water is handed out to pedestrians across the city. Experts say headaches and fatigues are among the earliest signs of heat-related illness, advising people to avoid unnecessary outdoor activity between noon and 5 p.m. when temperatures are typically at their highest. Shin So-eun, Arirang News.
Also here on the local front, the Lee Jae-myung administration has laid out its foreign policy roadmap for the second half of this year, aimed at building nuclear-powered submarines, regaining wartime operational control, and engaging North Korea. Our Kim Do-yeon reports.
At a briefing on diplomacy and national security for the second half of the year on this Wednesday, President Lee Jae-myung emphasized that peace and stability on the Korean Peninsula are the foundation for the nation's future.
우리 대한민국의 대도약 그리고 지속적인 성장 거기다 국민들의 더 나은 삶을 위해서는 한반도의 평화와 안정이 가장 중요합니다.
To support this vision, the Foreign Ministry is driving a G7 plus diplomatic initiative, having already completed bilateral summits with the leaders of the U.S., China, and Japan within the president's first year. Foreign Minister Cho Hyun announced that Seoul will expedite consultations with Washington to secure the requirements to build nuclear-powered submarines, as well as uranium enrichment and reprocessing capabilities. On the defense front, the government is accelerating efforts to achieve a self-reliant military posture.
어떤 외부의 도움도 없이 우리 스스로의 힘으로 지켜나가는 자주 국방은 우리의 가장 큰 과제다. 그리고 당연히 주권의 일부인 군 지휘권도 스스로 행사해야 되겠죠. 당연히.
The Ministry of National Defense confirmed it is holding multi-channel talks with the U.S. to regain wartime operational control, or OPCON. Partial evaluations for an OPCON transfer will be conducted during the upcoming Ulchi Freedom Shield joint exercises, aligning with President Lee's directive that independent military command is a core element of national sovereignty. Regarding inter-Korean relations, President Lee ordered the Unification Ministry to maintain a policy of peace and coexistence, stressing that abandoning engagement strategies would be harmful despite the current freeze in dialogue.
근데 그건 결국 국민들한테는 나쁘죠. 국가 공동체에게는 해악이죠. 그래서 힘들긴 하지만 우리가 평화와 공존의 정책을 계속해 나가야 되겠다.
To break the deadlock, the Unification Ministry plans to push for an inter-Korean summit during the first half of the president's term. The ministry aims to utilize the upcoming APEC summit to launch a 4-party Korean Peninsula peace process, actively seeking China's role in the initiative. Kim Do-yeon, Arirang News.
The world's most critical oil shipping route could soon reopen as negotiators reportedly closed in on a deal to restore safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. Our foreign affairs correspondent Oh Soo-young has the latest.
US President Donald Trump says the Strait of Hormuz will reopen soon, warning Iran could otherwise face what he called a very powerful attack. Speaking to Fox News on Tuesday local time, Trump said the United States was having very good discussions with Iran and claimed Tehran was eager for an agreement after months of conflict. But he added that the only thing that matters is action, saying Washington would wait to see what happens. His remarks came as officials on both sides signaled progress towards reopening the strategic waterway. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Tuesday that Washington was involved in talks between Iran and Oman aimed at allowing more vessels to pass safely through the waterway.
I think that there's a conversation and a negotiation that we are involved in between Oman and Iran on how more ships can be able to go through there safely in the short term as we move towards these longer term talks about denuclearization. And suffice it to say there's been progress made in those talks, but not finality yet. We're hoping that will happen very shortly.
While Rubio was cautious to stress no final agreement had yet been reached, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was more optimistic. Bessent said an agreement could come as early as Tuesday or Wednesday to allow vessels to travel freely through the strait. But he did not directly answer whether Iran would be permitted to charge ships for passage. Tehran, meanwhile, maintains that it is negotiating with Oman, not directly with the United States, but said Tuesday that the talks were positive and ongoing. The strait remains largely blocked following the outbreak of the US-Israeli war with Iran in late February. Young, Arirang News.
In other news, the South Korean currency is drawing fresh attention after the U.S. Treasury Secretary highlighted its recent volatility alongside the yen. Our Kim Bo-kyung covers his remarks and their broader implications.
While underscoring the importance of a stable yen, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Tuesday pointed to the South Korean won's excessive volatility. The remarks came during an interview with CNBC following a joint intervention by Washington and Tokyo in the foreign exchange market last week to support the yen. He said that the yen's stability matters for the entire region given Japan's role in global trade, the size of its economy, and its contribution to global savings. He also warned that prolonged weakness in the Japanese currency could spill over into neighboring economies, citing excessive volatility in the Korean won. In fact, the won has largely moved in tandem with the yen in recent years, though with even greater volatility. The won depreciated 12.5% against the dollar in 2024, exceeding the yen's 10.6% decline over the same period. This year, while the yen fell 2% against the dollar, the won declined 4.6% in May, and in June, the yen rebounded 3.8%, while the won weakened 7.1%. Bessent's remarks suggest that the U.S. administration believes the won should return to a more stable path, potentially giving South Korean authorities greater room to take proactive steps to stabilize the foreign exchange market. One expert, however, does say that even if the authorities intervene, there wouldn't be much change.
Even if Korea tried to intervene in the foreign exchange market, the problem is most of the fundamental movement in the currency flows were due to stock markets and firms' fears about future dollar rates and possible investment in the United States. So even if the foreign exchange currency authorities tried to intervene in the dollar-won market, it probably wouldn't have done much good.
The same expert added that it remains to be seen whether Bessent will follow up with concrete measures to help stabilize the won. Kim Bo-kyung, Arirang News.
Meanwhile, South Korea's foreign exchange reserves rose for the second month in a row in July. According to the Bank of Korea on this Wednesday, the reserve stood at over $427.9 billion at the end of July, up $590 million on month. The latest increase follows a $370 million gain in June. The central bank linked the increase to the issuance of foreign exchange stabilization bonds and a rise in the U.S. dollar value of foreign currency assets denominated in other currencies. By asset type, deposits rose by $860 million, while securities holdings fell by $340 million. Korea ranked 10th globally in foreign exchange reserves, up from 13th place a month earlier. Wall Street appears to be betting big on South Korean memory chip giants as the AI boom fuels a surge in advanced memory technology. Our Paek Joo-hee explains.
At least 6 major Wall Street firms, including Bank of America and UBS, have recently initiated coverage on SK hynix ADRs with buy or overweight investment ratings. Bank of America highlighted that robust demand from U.S. tech giants, leadership in advanced memory, and soaring AI infrastructure spending are setting the stage for supercycle level earnings. Rosenblatt Securities set a price target of $320, implying over 120% upside for Monday's close. Boosted by the bullish momentum, SK hynix ADRs closed up 8.17% at $154.38 in New York on Tuesday. Along with market optimism, major tech updates were unveiled in Silicon Valley. Samsung Electronics showcased its next-generation memory solutions at the Future of Memory and Storage 2026 conference on Tuesday local time. Samsung unveiled its 3D ZHBM architecture, which stacks memory directly on top of AI accelerators rather than side by side. By minimizing data travel distance, ZHBM delivers up to 8 times the performance and triple the energy efficiency compared to upcoming HBM5 standards. Samsung also introduced Z-Nando for on-device AI, matching DRAM server speeds at 1/6 the cost. Alongside this, it unveiled the industry's first 400-layer 10th generation VNAND, boosting storage density by 58%. These technical strides align with positive long-term market projections. On Tuesday, an analyst from market research firm Yole Group projected that Korea will maintain its undisputed memory dominance through at least 2031, supported by aggressive corporate investments and government plans to double wafer capacity. Market analysts report that as the industry shifts into AI 2.0 centered on inference, memory development cycles have shrunk from 18 months to 12. This faster pace, combined with big tech's push for custom AI chips, is expected to loosen NVIDIA's dominance, creating new growth opportunities for agile Korean suppliers. 백주희, Arirang News.
And South Korea's minimum wage for next year has been finalized at 10,700 Korean won per hour, roughly $7.51. Now, this marks an increase of 27 cents from this year to be applied equally at all workplaces across all industries. While both the labor sector and the small business community submitted objections, the Labor Ministry dismissed all claims, ruling that neither met the grounds for a redeliberation. From herbal therapies to acupuncture, traditional Korean medicine is emerging as the next global attraction in K-medical tourism. Our culture correspondent Hong Seo-jung reports.
Eyes covered and completely relaxed, foreign visitors experience automated acupressure baths, a modern take on traditional Korean meridian massage to boost circulation. Nearby, guests try automated hand massages using camellia oil-infused herbal masks.
It's not like a one-size-fits-all, which sometimes I feel like in America that's kind of how it is. So I really appreciate how personalized it is.
These experiences are part of a wellness program run by the K-Medi Center, an organization dedicated to promoting traditional Korean medicine.
Recently, thanks to its appearance on Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters, interest in our center has surged, bringing in more visitors from around the world.
In a traditional pavilion, tourists soak their feet in warm water infused with seasonal medicinal herbs like chrysanthemum.
I feel like they have a lot of evidence suggesting that the Korean practices here lead to strong health outcomes, so relaxing.
Long known for cosmetic procedures, Korean medical tourism is expanding into traditional medicine, offering international visitors a uniquely holistic approach to wellness. As interest in traditional Korean medicine grows, more people are experiencing treatments like acupuncture or skin therapy firsthand. Following a thorough consultation and diagnosis, patients receive acupuncture therapy and facial treatments infused with traditional herbal ingredients.
Unlike conventional skin boosters, this formula incorporates traditional Korean medicine. We transformed Hwangneon Haedoktang, a classic herbal remedy, into a modern cosmetic treatment.
As a result, foreign tourists are expanding their beauty itineraries, visiting not just conventional dermatology clinics, but traditional Korean medicine clinics for advanced skincare.
Korea is very good for their health technology, and then also for the skincare treatments and everything. So that's why I want to try for this one, for like the traditional one.
Combining affordability with proven effectiveness, K-medical tourism continues to rise in popularity, with traditional Korean medicine expected to become a key global draw. Hong Seo-jung, Arirang News.
This is the world now. In the United States, police in Washington state on Monday have arrested a man they say deliberately started one of 3 wildfires burning around Spokane. More than 700 homes and other buildings have burned down around Spokane, and 64,000 people have been told to evacuate. Investigators say 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci set a roadside patch of grass alight with matches or a lighter on Saturday. That fire swept out of State Park into wooded neighborhoods, turning homes to ash and melting cars. The fire burned more than 10,000 acres on the northern edge of Spokane, a city of 230,000. It is still not contained. No deaths have been reported, but officials expect that to change as crews reach areas they currently cannot get to. SpaceX has beaten Wall Street's expectations in its first earnings report as a public company. But its shares fell on Tuesday due to higher than expected spending on its artificial intelligence business. Revenue came in at $7.8 billion, well ahead of forecasts and up from $4.7 billion in the first quarter. But SpaceX poured $15.8 billion into artificial intelligence, more than double what it spent in the first 3 months of the year. Investors worry that spending on that scale will not pay for itself, and the stock slipped in after-hours trading. Starlink, its satellite internet service, has passed 12 million subscribers, doubling from a year earlier. Guatemala is on alert after the Fuego volcano erupted on Monday, sending gas and ash into the sky and sending lava down its slopes. Emergency officials have moved at least 659 people out of 8 villages into shelters and expect about 10 more communities to follow. A major highway near the volcano is closed and schools in nearby towns are shut. The Fuego volcano is one of Central America's most active volcanoes. An eruption in 2018 killed hundreds of people and wiped out an entire village. In Japan, 3 lions have died within a week at a zoo in western Tokyo, and staff believe the heat was the cause. Autopsies found dehydration and multiple organ failure in all 3 animals. A zoo representative said on Monday it is, quote, the first time we've experienced anything like this. 3 more lions are still unwell and unable to stand. Across Japan, more than 43,000 people have been taken to hospital for heat stroke this summer. Chu Ji-hyun, Arirang News.
Heatwave warnings now cover almost the entire western side of the country, and all of Seoul is now under a severe heatwave warning, the highest level in the nation. Easterly winds are crossing the Taebaek Mountains, and as the air comes down the western side, it gets even hotter, pushing temperatures up even further. And we're not getting much of a break after sunset either, so please take the heat seriously day and night. As temperatures shoot up, the atmosphere will also become unstable. Through this evening, we could see some passing showers around Seoul and other parts of the capital region, as well as the west coast of Chungcheongnam-do and Jeollado provinces. We're looking at anywhere from 5 to 40 millimeters, so keep an umbrella handy on your way home. Tomorrow, Seoul will start the day at 27 degrees, Daejeon 25 and Daegu 26 degrees. Then by the afternoon, Seoul will soar to 39 degrees, Daegu 36 degrees, Busan 33 degrees. Looking ahead, this extreme heat will continue around the clock. Now here's a look at the weather around the world.
Those are the headlines at this hour here in South Korea. Coming up right after this break is our daily panel session, so do stay with us.